You know, when you play a game like that, it was a heck of a football game. For the second week in a row, our guys competed hard, but that's not what we're out there to try to do. We're out there to try to win. And the one thing I wanted to make clear in the locker room was that it's a team loss. You know, the offense's job is to outscore them by at least 1 point. The defense's job is to hold them to one less point, and special teams got to give us some plays. So we didn't accomplish that. I am proud of how hard they competed. I'm proud of how hard they prepared for it, and the fact that we continued to come back and get in a position to give us a chance. We're just not. We're just making too many mistakes right now to be able to just score every time we have the ball. And defensively, we came up with some stops at times. We defended the run better at times. But then we rushed past the quarterback a number of times. And a guy that can run like that, you can't rush past the quarterback. And we had our defensive tackles and ends at least 4 times, all past the depth of the quarterback. And they ended up killing us with that. So there's a lot of good. There's a lot of things to correct. One thing's for sure, we're going to keep working hard at it. We're going to have a good attitude, and we're going to keep competing and find a way to win.
Playing from behind like that the whole game, did you just feel like you were just kind of waiting for that break or waiting for that moment, and it just kind of didn't come?
Yeah, I just kept waiting for a turnover. You know, at some point we're going to get some turnovers. So I felt like you get in that position that we have a chance, opportunity to get a turnover and something good will happen. And you know, obviously they're a very good football team, and they're executing very well on offense right now, and we just weren't able to get the ball out.
Difficult is it managing what you guys have got, especially on the interior of the defensive line, just with the injuries you've had and just lack of overall depth, having to play 95 and 5 so much also?
Yeah, we're trying to rotate them in as much as possible and try to keep them healthy and fresh, but they are playing a number of snaps. We're you know, the depth on that in that position is not where you'd like it to be.
I guess Monday you kind of mentioned how good they were up front. I'm curious what you saw from, you know, your offensive line and your defensive line going against Texas A&M at the line of scrimmage today.
I mean, they're very good on both fronts. That's a huge offensive line with a ton of experience. You know, most of those guys have been playing together. This will be their 3rd year together. So they, you know, we didn't get to the quarterback like we needed to. We did get down to some runs and gave us a chance to get the ball back at times, but not enough. Defensive front-wise, you know, there were times where I felt like we did a really nice job of run blocking them and open up holes, and Mike's running really hard, Braylon's running really hard. We gave up some protection things late in the game that really hurt us, and you know, the negative plays by Talon he's got to throw the ball away. He's got to get out of the pocket. Coming out, we tried a double move. He got pressure, and instead of just getting outside the tackle and throwing it out of bounds, we took that huge loss, and that ended up being, you know, something that killed us in the game.
You mentioned Talon, you know, the injury in the second quarter to come back. I mean, what did you see from him, especially when he came back into the game? How much of a boost did that give you, his ability to go score those 2 touchdowns before the half?
Yeah, I mean, he's tough as they come. You know, he's as tough as they come. He competed extremely hard and, you know, threw the ball, ran the ball, operated the offense, changed protections, did everything he possibly could do to come up to get us the win. So, you know, to be able to come back in the game like that, I didn't know how hurt he was until the trainer came and talked to me, and I was a little bit surprised that he was going to be able to come back in the game, but when he did, he was full speed and ready to go.
You gashed him pretty good with the run game, particularly in the first half. What was particularly working? What did you feel would work, and what was working?
Yeah, I think Mike was working. You know, he was hitting the holes and making yards and almost breaking him. But the O-line was doing a nice job of opening them up. We ran the ball early, kind of out of 4 wides, and spread them out a little bit, and that helped us on certain drives. And then, you know, we just did a good job of mixing it up, and the O-line blocking their 2 inside guys. They're their linebackers are really good football players, really smart. They're not big, but their interior guys are a load. And if we could keep them covered up, and then we get the ball to the second level, we had a chance.
What do you think of Reed's poise? You know, you're 2 years removed from coaching him, but what do you think of his poise and how he led their team tonight?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. You know, unfortunately for us, he's done a nice job of really maturing and growing up, and he made a lot of good throws, and the runs killed us.
You spoke as if you're very confident that the team's going to keep competing. Is that what you've maybe sensed in the locker room afterwards?
We're going to keep competing. No question about it. These are good kids. They have stuck together, and we're going to keep building on. It's not going to be the last time in their life they go through hard times. It's going to mean a lot more when they have kids, and the alarm clock goes off at 6 a.m. and they don't feel good. They get up and go to work and do a good job anyway. That's what this is supposed to be about. So we're just going to keep pounding at that, and I feel good about them. Every time I talk to them, they're very attentive. They look me in the eyes, and they want to win games. They want to win football games. We've got to give them a better opportunity as a staff to get that victory.
Team loss, but what'd you make of a loud fourth quarter crowd compared to where that was weeks ago?
Oh, the crowd was awesome. I know the players were very, very appreciative all 4 quarters at the energy that they brought, and the second quarter really stood out to me, how loud they were when we went and were able to score twice. So it was awesome to have that crowd there and the fans out there, and we've got to continue to give them a good product, but with a win.
Been with Jaden Platt for a few years now. How good was it to see him make that diving catch in the back corner?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I got blocked out, so I wasn't able to see that. But I did hear the crowd, and when they roared, I was like, all right, nice. But it must have been a heck of a throw because I know he wasn't real open. So it must have been a great throw and a great catch. And that's how you score touchdowns. Both guys make a great play.
In the second quarter, maybe with like 3 minutes left, I'm thinking like you guys really need to get down and get a touchdown, but you got 2 of them in a short amount of time. How big was that surge for you guys going into halftime from a momentum standpoint?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of momentum. You could see it in the players, and you could feel it on the sideline. And, we were able to get the ball back there right at the end, 50-some seconds to go, and drive down and get a touchdown. That was a nice job, and a credit to, our offensive line, because I thought on that drive we had really, really good protection.
Mistakes because Talon gave you guys so much, but what happened on that 4th down call at midfield, the 4th and 1?
Oh, he missed a guy wide open, He got spooked by the safety heading that way and just missed a guy wide open. And it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it did happen.
Turnovers, and I don't think you've had a takeaway since Memphis. Is there something in particular the defense isn't doing that you need to improve on?
Well, turnovers come by pressuring the quarterback and hitting the quarterback and disrupting the quarterback, both fumbling and interceptions, because when you disrupt him and hit him as he's releasing the ball and getting tip balls, then you get interceptions. So some of it is our inability to get to the quarterback and pressure him enough and put enough pressure on him. I feel like we're getting a lot more people to the ball in the run game. We just haven't been able to get it out. So, got to hit a little harder. But I think it starts with getting more pressure on the quarterback.
Coach, you were talking about the technique and rushing the quarterback and how guys are getting upfield, and which is some basic teaching things you're going to have to do. Is that, you think, the key to making this defense get better the rest of the year? Some of the basic fundamentals and the run fits where a couple plays where you didn't have a linebacker in the right spot. Is that just going back and teaching the fundamentals to get them where they need to be?
Yeah, a combination of that and continuing to play with good energy and toughness. We were committing more guys to the run, which helped us at times. It also cost us a couple big plays in the passing game. So it's kind of that give and take. And, I think we need to get where we can bring more pressure and pressure the quarterback more and be able to, cover behind it.
A&M went 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Was there anything you felt like the defense should have done better on those plays? Obviously, they were short yardage and everything, but is And then I guess a second part to that, how frustrating is it to not get off the field in those situations?
Yeah, it gets frustrating. I don't really think it was anything our defense could have done and should have done. I think it was playing an experienced offensive line and tight ends and that were really good at short yardage runs. And I thought we had him one time, and he got second effort and made it. But, yeah, if we could just get one of those, we had an opportunity to change the game.
Did you consider using any timeouts in the final? Like, I think it was a minute. Was it maybe a couple of chances to stop the clock there?
I did. You know, I thought about it, and I think they threw an incomplete pass, so I didn't have to use one there. I was going to call one after their third down play and make sure that the clock was stopped, and then we'd get the ball back. I didn't want to call it after the second down play because I felt like we would need one.
Yeah, Taylor, for you, I guess just your overall takeaways of tonight.
There was definitely some great plays, and there's definitely some plays, I want back. It's a four-quarter game. I love how this team, fought, till it says 0-0 on the, clock. I want to shout out the fans. That was a, crazy atmosphere, to be in, and just the energy that they, brought, fed, to us. And, those are the type of games, that you come to Arkansas for, So we didn't come up on top, but we just, got to get over that hump.
What kind of happened on that play? I forget which quarter it was, but what happened on that play where you went into the tent?
I just had a collision with the defender. It was like, knee-to-knee collision. And, went into the tent and, just doing the examinations. And, I was good. I wanted to, go back and play, and they just put a brace on it and, just went out there and played. And I don't think it's, anything major, so.
For Xavier or Mike, kind of going off what Talon said, how much different did tonight's atmosphere feel compared to just a few weeks ago?
It felt good. The fans came and showed out. Even with the game getting pushed back, they still came and supported us. So it was a great atmosphere.
Yeah, same thing. Great fan base. They came out. They showed up for us, and yeah.
I mean, how much does a crowd like that just kind of help where the flow of the game is kind of going back and forth? How much does it help to have them behind you in that way?
I mean, getting the first down and, hearing the crowd, go wild is definitely, motivating for the offense to keep doing their thing.
Xavier, 9 different receivers caught a pass for Texas A&M. Just with the amount of weapons that they have, what were some of the biggest challenges that they were presenting on offense?
I'm not sure. I can't call any challenges off the top of my head that I can remember right now. But just a good team. We knew they was top team coming over here. So I can't really vividly remember anything right now off the top of my head. So.
And then Taylor, Coach Petrino was in here saying that he was, really confident that the team was going to continue to compete for the rest of the season. Is that kind of the feel that you get as one of the senior leaders of the team?
Definitely. Like I said in the preseason, everybody's care factor and passion, for each other and love for each other, speaks volumes, and how close we are. And we have a lot of emotions and just being frustrated and all that. But those are the times we just got to come together, and everybody that's been here since January or the other transfer portal window. That's what everybody, when we blood, sweat, and tears that we put into it. Everybody, loves when everybody is, winning, but, it's about how we respond. So.
And then Mike, A&M came in with one of the better run defenses, 147 yards. Just maybe how personally for you, how gratifying is a day like today?
You know, first I want to shout out the O linemen. You know, I'm gonna keep saying that. I've been saying it since day one. We have the best O line in the country, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes on that. You know, every day. You know, without them, them holes, you know, they wouldn't have been there. You know, I wouldn't have 147 yards. So, you know, big ups to them.
Jalen, obviously, you guys went for it on fourth down there in the first half and didn't get it. Just what kind of happened on that play? Where did the play kind of break down? And yeah, what did you see there?
You know, I put that on myself. You know, Coach Petrino had trusted me to go for it early in the game, and you know, I didn't execute. And you know, I saw the safety right there, but you know, I have to trust in myself, and you know, trust in Rohan, and just to make the play. You know, just trust my eyes and to deliver it because we practiced it all week long. So that's on me.
Xavier, A&M went 3 for 3 on fourth down. Obviously, it was all short yardage situations, but was there anything that you felt could have gone differently on those plays, and I guess just how difficult is it to get off the field in those situations?
I mean, yeah, we just got to stop them. That's what we do. You know, we play defense, and you know, we just got to stop them.
If you had a key tackle for loss at kind of in the first half that I think it was on second down, and you guys got to stop. What's the key for you guys to get more sacks and TFLs?
Just play together, stay together, and just work together. Front level, second level, and third level, all being on the same page.
For you, there's a few long sacks late there. If you could kind of have a chance to do it again, what would you kind of do?
Check it down to that playmaker right there to my left, or to just throw it away. And those are things that just gonna go to film, watch the film, and get coached hard and to learn from it, because I'm gonna be in that situation again. So I just got to be ready the next time. So.
Texas A&M and Tennessee both have one of the best pressures in the country. Was their pressure in back-to-back weeks kind of similar? What were you seeing there?
I mean, honestly, my O-line, the O-line did a great job. There's a couple times I should have just stepped up, because they were, what's the word, rushing wide and just trying to get me to, flush out the pocket. So those are things, I can learn from, just step up and deliver the ball, or step up and run, or step up and check it down. So those are things I'm, going to improve on.